Hey everyone, it's Sue here, and I'm so happy that you're coming along on my Bible art journaling journey with me. Today I'm working on the, I guess it would be the March 2016 challenge from Rebecca Jones. So it's her third challenge for 2016. And today we're working in 1 Samuel chapter 3, verses 1 through 10. And I pulled out my water-soluble graphite pencil. I didn't even know these existed before maybe a month or so ago. I saw somebody else use them on a YouTube video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they make graphite pencils that are water-soluble. They're actually called Sketch and Wash graphite pencils made by General. So I thought it would be really great to use here, but in the end it really turned out being a negative, which I'll share with you later when we get to the painting part of it. So following along with what Rebecca did on her page, she put well, it's not a speech bubble, but I guess it's a type of bubble up on top and towards the bottom. It's kind of to represent like when God called Samuel's name, he said Samuel. And so that's what this like speech bubble is supposed to represent, like power, like Samuel, like loud. And and then on the bottom it says yes with a question mark. So when Rebecca did it, up on top she had the word what did she put on top of hers? I forget. She put hey, H-E-Y, hey, with that exclamation point. But I chose to put the word Samuel instead. And she also put yes at the bottom because it took the fourth time before God was speaking to Samuel. Samuel kept going to Eli, thinking it was Eli talking to him, and then Eli figured it out and told Samuel what to say the next time that he heard God's voice. And so here I am using my Inktense. They're not pencil, they're the bars. And I enjoy using these. I had the Inktense pencils and wasn't real happy with them. And I actually gave them away to someone because when I got these bars, I'm like, this is it. I prefer this kind of technique where I can just pick up the color that I need right from the block itself. And like Rebecca said, she even grabbed some of the pigment off of these blocks and put it on something and mixed water with it because they can be very pigmented, which is good in some cases, but in some cases you don't want it as dark. Here I'm going in and putting in the yellow in the word Samuel. Now, what I noticed here, this is where I noticed that, hey, maybe using a water-soluble graphite pencil is not the best because, yes, you guessed it, the graphite pencil did start to move around a little bit here, but I was able to save it. I soon figured that out and figured a way to do it where it wasn't moving as much. In fact, you'll see here in a minute that I come in and the yellow is much brighter because I've come back and put a second coat on it. using just a little bit of red from the Inktense blocks. To put a second layer of blue on top of that lighter blue, I pulled out this stencil. As you can see, it's one I've often used, and I like it because they look like stars, but they're not a regular star shape, and I like that about this stencil very much. You can purchase this stencil on Etsy at a store called Housewares, Howsewears. I'm showing you here I'm using one of the Illustrated Faith pens. I recently bought these, oh gosh, I guess about a week ago. And you get 2 in a package, and they are 0.25 and 0.65 tips. So I'm using the 0.65 here. It is bolder, broader, wider than the 0.25. And I really wanted, you know, all of everything I drew on here to pop better on the page. So I definitely chose the thicker pen. And to outline the words Samuel, and yes, I used the same Illustrated Faith pen. And I like the way this is looking very, very much, but I'm not quite done yet. So one thing, well, there's many things that Rebecca does very well, but one of the things that she does that always amazes me, because I struggle with this myself, is when you go to shade things. Now, I don't have a problem with shading the bubble, because I know, I want to put the heavier shading towards the bottom, and I totally get that. I find that easy to do, but when it comes to letters, I definitely struggle, and you'll see that in a minute. To do this shading with the gray, I'm using the brush tip Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen in Cold Gray. One of my favorite colors. In fact, between this one and the black one, it's probably my most used, and I use it mainly just for the same purpose that I'm using it here, and that's to shade. Shading the letters, like I said, definitely is a challenge for me, and I don't think I ever do them right. I just don't do them right. Intellectually, I get it that the darker should be on the bottom or to a certain side, because like if the sun or the light is coming from one direction, the shade would be opposite that. I get it. I totally get it. But when I am shading letters, that common sense just leaves my head. Then I end up doing just what I think looks good. So that's what I did here on Samuel and the word yes. And you know what? It's definitely not perfect by far, but I do like the way that it looks. This finishes off the page, and I am done, and I enjoyed working on this. And like I said, this is challenge number 3 of 2016. I'll have a link below to Rebecca's video, and I'm just going to lift it up so you can see it up close. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. And definitely, if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and you will find a link to subscribe to my channel below in the description. Thanks so much.